welcome back to episode 3. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode with NoFilterKBT. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to talk about toxic people.
So, what is your guys' definition of a toxic? What's a toxic person to you?
Without saying names.
Maria, oh, I'm sorry, whoops.
There's a lot of those out there.
I say someone that just brings down a vibe. They're like in a group of people, you know, that person. Yeah, a negative Nancy.
Yeah.
Basically.
I agree. Poor attitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Poor attitude. Always talking about negative stuff. So I think just be negative. I think you're right.
I think, just a negative person. A negative person that, you know, usually tends to be people who feel bad about themselves and they bring other people down. They're just toxic. And they try to, everything that you do, they make it about them and how everything's bad for them and you don't understand them and poor them.
It's all about them.
And them.
And then
more negative.
And them.
Jesus Christ. We all know a few of those.
Do you know a few of those negative people? Toxic people?
I bet a person came in your mind when we said it.
And if you don't, you're probably the one.
The one. There you go. Probably are.
No, for reals, you probably are.
Seriously. Your group of friends are like, that's the toxic one out of the group. Just saying.
I mean, no, it's true.
It can be true.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I don't know a toxic person.
It's you.
Because it's you.
Sorry.
It's you.
It's you. So how do you take those type of people out of your life? Like, what's a good strategy?
You murder them. Disappear them, cut them, dump them in the ocean.
Jesus Christ, have you done a war?
Maybe. It's not this week. Just because I thought about it.
Oh, jeez.
What is it? You said it. You thought of it.
Okay.
I don't know, because I mean, depending, I guess, do you keep, because I know that there's a lot of people who have toxic family members. So, I mean, do you really want to cut them out? Should you also cut them out, or should you not? Or maybe you should just limit the time you spend with them.
That's a tough one.
Or, I mean, it kind of...
For family?
For family members, not just, I mean, because we always usually assume, oh, it's a crazy boyfriend, or it's a crazy friend.
It could be family.
But it could also be family, and it might not be that easy to cut somebody out.
That's very true. It probably takes a lot longer, personally, from my experience, because I stay with my family.
I think we all have.
Yeah, at some point you do.
Unless you're that one person in the family that's trying to get rid of that.
Then it's you.
Then it's you. No, it's harder. Like you said, do you keep them around? Like, I guess, like, you try and try more to understand them. You try and try more to be understanding on why they are so toxic.
Yeah, I think it comes down to setting your boundaries.
Yes.
Because as much as you might care for someone or love someone, you need to set boundaries, because then...
Family or not.
It doesn't matter who they are. And that's the hardest part, though. I think even with family or with not family, it's still really hard, because even though for you it's something that, you know you're not going to simple as talk to me this way or call me only when you need me, or, it's hard. But I think in the long run, it's like with practice. You know what I mean? With practice, it gets easier. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the easiest, but I think it's a time thing and boundaries.
With toxic people, I think also, I feel when it's somebody that you care about, it being family, it's also harder not to kind of go into the whole toxicness with them, because like for me, I always tend to kind of justify it, like, oh, they're just kind of this way, or how do I kind of adjust to their needs and stuff like that, which I feel like usually tends to happen when it comes to somebody you care about, or just a family member who happens to be toxic. You're kind of just like, oh, well, they're just that way, they're not going to change, so you gotta kind of mold yourself around them.
Yeah.
And it kind of, in a sort of way, it kind of makes you a little bit toxic as well, because you start to kind of, or I think it's easier to kind of go into that whole thing, and it becomes just a whole toxic relationship that you're into.
That's very true.
So what do you guys think? Do you cut them out? Does the level of toxicness matter in any way?
I think, well, like I said, because personally, the person that's not the toxic person can only take so much. I feel like with family, it is hard, so you try more and more and more. But there is a certain point where you're like, okay, well, I don't need this in my life. I don't need someone that's just negative. I don't need someone that's not meeting me halfway. Yeah. So then, honestly, yeah, you cut them out of your life and see if that matters to them. If they realize, like, oh, shit, like, did I do something? Like, do I need to fix something? Maybe I need to, do something better to have this person back in my life.
No, yeah, I agree, because I think it also comes down to, like, you technically, how you mentioned how you get enmeshed with their toxicity. Well, once you do that, you abandon yourself, and then who's going to look out for you? Nobody else but yourself. Yeah. Because that other person clearly is not in a right state of mind, and they're going to think everything's them. Yeah. And nothing, you're doing everything wrong when you're trying to help them or whatever it may be. But then again, that's not your responsibility or our responsibility to get them to see something, because they're going to see it if they want to, or they do see it and they just don't want to see it. So it depends. It's really hard. I know personally there's certain people that I, like, even within my own family, that I just kind of cut out without really knowing I was cutting them out. Yes. But now I think about it, I'm like, you know what, maybe that was a good thing. That was my body or my mind telling me, like, that's it. That's all you can take. There's not much more you can do.
So it's basically, once they start harming you, or once you start getting to a point where it's interfering with your personal life, with your personal self, then that's when you start to draw boundaries. I think. Yeah. Not necessarily cut them out depending on the situation, but that's because you got to look at for yourself before other people. You don't want to drown trying to save them.
Exactly, and like you were saying, like trying to make them realize that, oh, maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe you need to do this. That is hard alone to try to tell those toxic people that, because they know. It's either deep down they know, so they're going to get super defensive and be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think it comes into the whole rescue thing. You want to rescue the person that you love, even though you have no control over what they do. I mean, you want to make them understand, but in reality, you don't. If they want it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
Exactly.
That's true, because there's the triangle. I believe it's the persecutor, the rescuer, and then like the victim, and they each play. And then we tend to be the rescuer, but then we rescue them for a little bit, and it goes back to the same thing, and then we get tired of it, and it's like, as much as we care for these people or the person, it's draining.
It is.
It is so draining. And besides like the family stuff, like even when it comes to whoever you call your friend is like super draining. It can be super draining because it's like, I'm putting this much effort, you're not. How do you sit there and say things are, we've been distant, we're not saying, when it's kind of like, well, me halfway. It's just, and then it goes back to being able to have a conversation, right? Being able to be open and talk about without anybody taking it the wrong way, without anybody taking it personal per se, like attacked,
And that's, like I said, the people that do take it that way, they know deep down that obviously something is wrong. Something in their life isn't right. That's why they're like that. And so that's why they get all upset. And that's why it's hard to try to rescue them and be like, well, you know what? Maybe you should talk to someone. Maybe you should talk to a therapist. It's hard to even tell them that. Like, you want to rescue them. You want to tell them, maybe suggest this. Yeah. This is not. But yeah, some people can take it real personal and get upset with you when all you want to do is help them.
So on that note, I mean, if you have a person that's completely toxic, not beneficial to you whatsoever, and you try to countless times to tell them you need help, maybe you should try this, they don't listen, how do you go about cutting them out? Or do you? Or how long till you call it quits?
I think it'd be less involved.
Slowly, yeah, like slowly.
The slow approach.
Yeah, so not just like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. Not like straight cut them off. Just slowly, like, not hang out with them or not talk to them or text them as much. Yeah. Just like,
until it kind of like fizzled out.
Yeah, until they kind of realize it and don't message you as much or call you as much either.
Because I think when it comes to friendship, you know who your friends are. When, for example, I don't need to text you every day. However, when we do see each other, we have a great time.
Yeah.
Well, I understand you're busy. I'm busy.
It's like where you left off.
Yes, that. I think that's like I think that's a beautiful friendship because I've been able to do that with like some people, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't want to have to constantly reassure a friend that you're friends. That's kind of like relationship stuff. Like, I'm reassuring you. Like, I'm reassuring you that I love you. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you're reassuring a friend that you're a friend. Like, obviously, we're friends. Like, why can't you just know that? Then we can pick off where we left off and be good.
Yeah, see, I like to text you girls all day because it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, we just talk about random shit.
Like, you're working, text working, and then bullshit.
More
and
bullshit.
And then we go back to work.
Memes and bullshit.
She goes on her phone, she's got 91 messages.
Oh my god, I leave for like a second, and when I come back, there's like 100 messages.
Like legit 100 messages. Yeah.
And this is fun. Doing this is fun. But
yeah, it's when you have a good relationship. You're not worried about the other person. Oh, is she gonna take it the wrong way? Just she getting mad because I'm hanging out with this person. Oh, let me clear this up for this person because I don't want her to feel threatened or anything.
Exactly.
That sounds like a shitload of work.
That's a lot of work because you shouldn't have to do that. Like, we're allowed to have different friends. We're allowed to hang out with certain people.
Yeah, can we just be
you're
friends?
You're not the center of attention.
We're all friends, guys. We're all friends, okay?
That makes a lot of sense.
It's like a friendship is kind of like another, I guess, relationship.
Yeah.
But do you really need to put that much work into it? Like, I don't think so. Friendships are supposed to be easygoing, like, you know what I mean? Natural.
Organic.
Yeah.
When it starts feeling like work, I think maybe that other person, Because, I get it, we all go through ups and downs and stuff, but if you're constantly down the entire time,
it's my work is not that strong to hold you up all day.
And then you're trying to bring other people down, that's just...
Yeah.
No,
thank you. Positive vibes, though.
So you guys think the slow approach, right?
I think the slow approach, just so you don't hurt that person's feelings.
See, I'm more of a...
I think it
just
depends.
To cut you off.
If they're being rude and they're being... why should I now worry about your feelings when you're being, this kind of person? I'm more of that kind of person. Like, I'll keep you going until, like, if I had enough, then I'll just cut you off.
I think it depends on the person. Yeah, that sucks, though, because we should be able to be like, I'm done. We should be able to like, I don't need this.
But then again, you did build a friendship. You built some kind of friendship, so you still care about a toxic one. But you still built a friendship, so you have some kind of, like, attachment and care for that person. So you don't want to just be like, all right, bitch, bye.
I guess.
Yeah, but I think, for me, I guess, when I cut people off, it's really because, you've done
all you can.
You're just completely toxic, so I'm more of that approach. Like, I'm not the kind of person that slowly... Like, if I do slowly, I'll still keep up with it, unless I really want to cut. If I really want to cut you off, I'll just bam.
Just cut you off.
So, you know what? This isn't... I'm not liking this.
It's fine. I guess I kind of do it in the middle. Like, not too slow, where it's like months and months and months. It's like, all right,
you don't drag it on.
Yeah, I don't drag it on.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, after maybe a month, or I don't know. Then all right, bitch, bye.
What if she's not getting it?
Oh, that's tough.
How would you do that? How would you handle a person that doesn't get it? Because, there are people who you can literally drag on forever.
Answer that one, homegirl.
No, you answer that one, homegirl.
I think when it comes to people who don't get it, you're eventually gonna have to break it to them.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
You're gonna have to have that talk. You know what?
This isn't what.
It's not me. It's you.
It's not you. It's me.
No, it's you. It's you.
No,
it's all you.
It's you. Hate to break it to you. Someone needs to tell you.
Man. That's tough. Let us know what type of, difficult situations you've been in where it's been toxic or just where it's negativity all the time.
Or how do you handle it? Do you do the slow approach, or are you like, this one over here, just bye bitch and cut them off?
You know what, though? I think I do that because I'm so uncomfortable with confrontation and stuff. I just want to get it over with. Like, I will try to avoid, which is why, like, if I drag it on, because I'm avoiding it.
Yeah.
until oh, you know what? I was like, you know what? Just fuck it, get it over with, and I'll just bam. Like, I'll lay all the cards out on the table, and then be like, if you can't work with this, and you're not gonna meet me halfway, then we're done.
Then that's it.
We're done. I'm not putting up with that anymore. Because I mean, any kind of relationship takes two people, and if they're both not on board, then there's no point in being in any kind of relationship.
That's true. It's okay to be acquaintances at this point, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if they're toxic, do you really want to?
Yeah, stay away.
I mean, but if you're in a situation where you kind of have to.
Oh, yeah, like say you're working or they're your family members.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, hey, let's go do something. If I see you at a family function or if I see you at some kind of, thing, then I'll be nice and say, hey, how are you? Whatever, but I wouldn't go out of my way anymore for that person.
Just hang out.
Let's go. Yeah. No, okay, good.
Question. What if you feel that you've put your halfway and the other person feels the same? Like, how do you go about that?
Because they're toxic.
But
you didn't.
But like, if you were to write everything down on paper and you see like, whoa, I've really done so much shit and this person's really like just over there me, but then you're like, but they say no,
they're not gonna get it because
I
they're
think
toxic.
that's a difference in kind of in personalities too. So I mean, even if you both think you're still not gonna make it work, then because you both think that you've done something.
Like, honey, if you thought that you did halfway, well then.
Because there's people who really think like
they did everything.
Just like how you feel like I really did everything. They're gonna feel the exact same way. So I mean, either way, you kind of have to because it's not working for either one of you.
Exactly, like that. If that's your half, then it's not gonna work.
You're not happy with the half that they gave you, and they're not happy with the half that you gave them.
So then,
you think either way, you would have to, yeah. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that having toxic friendships or acquaintances kind of puts in practice what a toxic relationship with like your partner is and what to kind of look out for?
I think experiences like that definitely can help you if you actually pay attention to them.
If you're not the toxic person,
if you're not the toxic person, and if you actually want to grow, then they kind of help you pinpoint red flags more easily.
Oh yeah.
Than if you weren't. But I mean, obviously, red flags are red flags.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to be in a toxic relationship to necessarily understand that that person is not very healthy in the mind.
Yeah, it takes a lot too. I mean, personally, I felt like I was a toxic person in a relationship, and it's all about like self-awareness. Like you have to realize what you're doing. And I realized it. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, like this is like, why am I like this? Like that's horrible.
Yeah, because we can all be toxic.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily.
It's easier to be toxic than it is to not.
Definitely,
be toxic.
Definitely, it is in certain situations or whatever. So it takes a person to really know themselves and really know, like, okay, this isn't really me. Like, why am I acting this way? And then get down to the root of it and be like, okay, well, this is why I'm this way. This is why I'm being toxic in this way. So let me try to change that.
So I guess you'd have to be open to other people and I mean, not be so defensive and maybe there is some truth to what they're saying. If they have their certain type of feeling, there has to be a reason why they're feeling that way. Maybe something is, you can take something. You know what? Maybe that person was toxic, but maybe I wasn't that, great either.
Yeah. I think self-awareness is like the key. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do. Because you never want to see your own faults. You want to see everybody else's. Yes. And when you see your own faults, even when you just say them or think them, you're like, you say one thing and then you're like, oh shit, no. You're like, no, bitch, it is
justify it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, but it was because this, and that.
He said this or he said that or whatever.
No, one thing I've learned is that everybody's in control of their own emotions. You decide to be upset.
Yes.
If you tell me something, I'm going to decide how I'm going to react to that. How you're going to
take it.
If I told Janice, she's going to decide how to react to it. Of course, it's hard because it's a form of control.
Yeah.
And having to control your own emotions because there are instincts to like fight back or to like say something back or to like, well, I'm not It's just...
You get defensive because I mean, if you take it as a personal attack,
you
sure do, And I feel like one of the red flags I would say in relationships is if you have the same argument over and over and over and over again, and your significant other is telling you, like, I've been telling you this over and over and over, like, you're doing this is how it makes me feel. That's a red flag that you're being toxic and you're doing the same thing over and over. So you should realize, not get so defensive and want to be like, no, you did this because you did that, blah, blah, blah. You have to take what they're saying, especially if it's the same argument over and over, and be like, okay, well, you know what, maybe, like you said, there is some truth to what they're saying. They're not just trying to argue. There's some truth to it. So you have to get down to why you're being that way in that type of situation or whatever it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know for like some toxic relationships you don't pick up on them too easily. Like I've seen other relationships where it starts off small, but you don't go like, say you're with your boyfriend or your husband even or something, or just a friend, and they start off little like, oh, you're so stupid. So, but it constantly kind of grows. Like at first, like we like, oh, you're dumb. But I mean, when it starts to kind of put you down jokingly all the time, they're like, oh, you're so dumb. You know you can't do that. You're not smart enough. Don't be dumb. Don't be big. Stop it.
Just stop. No, really.
That brings me to, well, we're sarcastic. 99% of the time behind sarcasm, there's truth.
Yeah.
99% of the time.
No, what? No. I feel attacked. Stop.
I'm like a very sarcastic.
I'm sarcastic too. And sometimes I can be sarcastic and I'm like, but I really mean it's an indirect.
Yeah. It's a passive aggressive.
Yes.
Especially in the workplace. I do that a lot.
I have a lot of aggression.
I'm very sarcastic at work.
Me too. Oh my god.
They're like, I'm just kidding.
Bitch, I ain't kidding.
I really don't like your ass. No, it's good.
And then, kind of back to what you were saying, I think, about if your partner keeps telling you the same thing over and over again, it's also, if you keep getting the same types of relationship over and over again, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you.
Try something new. It's obviously not working.
It's all about being open and being self-aware. You have to be open to what the other person is saying. You have to be open to changing yourself and being aware of how you act in certain situations and realizing, like, you know what, I should be a toxic person. So
you can't take it personal either, because I mean, if they're telling you it's because they want to help you, or they want to help the relationship and they want it to be better,
and they know if it continues, then it's not going to work out.
I mean, the reason they're telling you is because they're unhappy. Yeah, they're unhappy and they want to make it work. Because if they didn't, they'd just be like, bye.
Exactly. They'll be like, you'd like, bitch, bye.
Oh shit, you done fucked up, man.
No, that's so true.
Yeah.
We have about 5 more minutes.
Should we do that too? That's pretty much covered.
Yeah. Can we just...
You get some time to kind of cut and stuff, so it'll be fine. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for toxic people. I mean, get them out of your life. Figure out what type of person you are first. And what your faults are first, because I think that's where you got to start. Your change starts with you.
Exactly. Be self-aware. Be very open-minded. It's not easy. It's gonna be tough, but it's for the better.
Yeah, I think just keep an open mind. If somebody approaches you and they want to talk.
Don't get something.
Don't take it personal.
If you take it personal, there's a lot more wrong with you.
Bad,
Yeah.
Just stop.
Alright, let's just stop sugarcoating it. You just got problems, right? You need to fix yourself.
I mean, it's also okay to take you know what, this is getting too, let me just take a few and then we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Yes, because then it gets physical and then it gets to all these other that's not what we wanted to get to. But yes. Thank you so much.
So SMR.
I was just gonna
Oh my god.
Close this out.
Oh, okay. Those are your legs. Just kidding.
Oops. It's for the next one. I know, hold on.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Save it for the next one.
Alright, did it. Can you do this?
Go ahead.
I'm so tired of you.
What?
You're always in front of the camera trying to steal all the glory.
Girl.
This is why I'm setting you out of my life. You're the top thing.
I love that both of you stop.
This is all the whole fault. You're so stupid. Just kidding.
Good example. See, we're acting it out for you.
And see. Go.
Alright, guys. thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. We can really use that. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Alright, guys, so we'll see you next time. Bye!